I hope you are well. Ella's Kitchen have been in touch because they are running a campaign at the moment called Veg for Victory, where their main aim is to get babies and children discovering a lifelong love of vegetables from a really young age, something that I really want my boys to do, mainly because I hated vegetables as a child. In fact, I would say that I've only really discovered a love for them in the last few years. I just know that I want my boys to discover a love so they don't go through this murky time where vegetables are bad, because they're not bad, they're good for you. Anyway, back to Ella's Kitchen and their campaign. It's all about introducing babies to a variety of different vegetables in those first few weeks. So every day, a different flavour, a different texture, before introducing sweeter things like fruits and cereals. As you know, I love food. So introducing food to the boys was something that I was really excited about. I couldn't wait. Now, I've already documented my weaning journey with Buzz, but as you would expect, I was just as keen to get going with Buddy. I couldn't wait to get him on the solids when it was his turn. I have given him a variety of vegetables. Roasted cauliflower, that has been his favourite for a long time. And he also likes just simple, like, boiled peas. I'm actually really intrigued and fascinated the fact that he can pick up individual peas. I just think it's amazing. It's amazing that he can do that. You know, when a child just starts doing things, you're like, how are you doing that? I mean, occasionally in the beginning, there were times where he would be a little bit fussy and he wouldn't pick up anything. Like, he'd just sit there being a bit disgruntled about the whole thing, being a bit miserable, which was a far cry from Buzz, who just literally used to see food and pick it up and shove it in. And wondering why Buddy was getting so frustrated at meal times, one day I decided to grab a spoon and some pureed food and see how that would fare, and he absolutely loved it, like wolfed it down, and had this really delighted look on his face. He's seen Buzz with his cutlery, he's seen us eating with cutlery, so he was probably just like, yes, I'm part of the family now, look at me with a spoon. Yeah, it was just really sweet to see. He didn't then have a spoon every meal. You know, he did, sometimes it was just like kicking him off with a spoon, and then he'd just be like, yes, this is food and this is amazing and I'm gonna grab everything and just shove it in. But occasionally there were just times where he was a little bit fussier, and I knew that pureed food with a spoon was the way to go. But once we were there, I just loved watching him play with his food and discover his likes and dislikes, discover what all these different shapes and textures and flavours were. It's just beautiful to see. It's lovely to see, you know, the complexity in which a child can look at a broccoli, at a piece of broccoli, and kind of work out the majestic qualities that that piece of green holds. On the whole, I would say that Buddy was a much neater and tidier eater than Buzz was. Buzz used to end a meal with food smeared all over his face, in his hair. It was always really messy, whereas Buddy is much more controlled in his approach. At the end of the meal, you can kind of just wash his hands and, you know, like just wet his face a little bit and he's done, he's good to go. Buzz was just not like that at all. But cleanliness aside, I'm thrilled to say that he now loves his food just as much as his big brother does. So now it's just up to me to make sure that I give them a nice variety of foods to try and to keep that love alive. And Ella's Kitchen have actually said that it can actually take up to 10 times to get a child to try a new veg and like it. So don't be disheartened if they're just not going in there for the carrots. They might just need a little bit of time. But Ella's Kitchen have loads of tips and advice on the website, so I shall link to that below. So yes, lately the boys and me have been getting really involved with the Veg for Victory campaign. We've been trying a different vegetable every day for the last 2 weeks. It's been going well. I'll be honest, it's kept me on my toes. I don't think I've ever cooked Swede before in my life, but there are loads of great ideas and recipes online. So I ended up actually chopping mine up and mixing it in with a bit of coconut oil and parmesan cheese. And you know, it was amazing. They were gorgeous and crispy and lovely, and the boys loved them. So a win there, a win for Swede. It won't always be that simple. I know runner beans usually find their way of running onto the floor, but you know, we're getting there, we're working our way through it, and every time I put a little sticker on our Ella's Kitchen chart, I feel a sense of achievement that we are doing this 2 weeks together, and it's a real group effort. I mean, group effort in the sense that I'm doing the cooking and they are theoretically eating. Listen, as someone who used to hate vegetables, I think this is an amazing campaign. I think it's a really important campaign. I'm thrilled to be involved and I want to hear your stories. What's your little one's favourite veg? What veg are you looking forward to giving them when you start weaning? Are you going to start weaning them with veg? Will your child eat anything that you put in front of them, or do they turn their nose up at something that looks like it might have come from the earth? Right, I better go and see what veg I'm going to be experimenting with tonight. I shall see you soon. Bye!